Hey guys! I recorded this video already, so excuse me if my thought process is kind of messy, because when you do something twice, sometimes it's really annoying and I might ramble a little bit. But I took notes, so let's try to go back and talk about this video again. Here are my thoughts after week 2 of ELeague. If you don't know what ELeague is, it's a Turner TBS Counter-Strike global offensive league with like a ton of money, we're talking millions here, where people compete live on TV at the end of the week. My thoughts about this are pretty simple. So far I think it's badass. It's really badass. So let's go throughout the positive and negative of my comment, as Timo will be wandering around and leaving us little appearances in the camera. So first of all, you need to understand how ELeague works. ELeague is a bunch of weeks where every week a group flies to Atlanta, plays throughout a kind of a group round robin, then a bracket, and then if they end up in the final of that week, of that group, there's only 4 teams in that group, they end up playing in the final live on TV Friday at 10 p.m. East. Everywhere around the world. So Turner is like huge, and then NA is like TBS, and like Europe it's other channel, but it's all live on these channels at the same time. My possibly biggest negative, which is not that big, is that format. Although it's amazing to have so many hours of CS, I love watching every single time. When ELeague ends, I'm actually sad at the end of the day. I'm like, damn it, what am I gonna do? I've been watching ELeague all day. What's next for me today, kind of thing. I also think that the format might be the biggest issue, because right now, if you're winning day 1 and day 2 completely, you can go 6-0 in a group, and as everybody mentioned, you can lose the next day the only BO3 you're gonna play versus the team that finished number 4, most likely 0-6, and then you end up losing that BO3 and getting kicked out of the tournament. It's that simple. There's no loser bracket. It's just that quick. So there's probably something that ELeague will need to work on for the future, because there's 4 days of group play, and it's kind of anticlimactic sometimes. And I want to say also that some matches are meaningless at the end of day 2, because it doesn't matter who wins or loses at the end. And you can see some teams are keeping strats and stuff like that, and I actually haven't seen that in a long time. Teams keeping strats for later on during the tournaments. Because of the new formats of the major, people usually just like need to win every game, so they don't keep strats. That hasn't been a thing in CS in a long time, and right now it's happening. So that's kind of unfortunate. So I think they're gonna have to work on the format. Also, what I actually really enjoy about the week and the group stuff is that whenever you have a week, for example, week 3 coming up, I'm gonna go watch week 3 in Atlanta, because I know CLG is gonna be playing. So people can pick and choose whenever they want to go to the studio, and I think that's kind of cool. Which, by the way, if you would rather see just the teams, you can also attend just the end, probably when they go into playoffs, the group playoffs, which all the best teams are going to be there, so you can also do that, which also I'm going to do. So I'm going to go in week 3, and I'm going to go probably during playoffs. So that's pretty awesome. But let's talk more about the production value, because I think that's what is the most important thing about all this. The production value of this tournament of this event is amazing. Not only is everything on point, I would think, or close to be on point, but the improvements are fast. Meaning, like week 1, day 1, there was a lot of issues. But all these issues were fixed within, we're talking about minutes, hours, and sometimes days, but they were all fixed at some point. And right now, it's pretty much like running as smooth as some of the events that have been running for years. Which is pretty impressive to say, because Turner has never done esports before, right? So they're doing great, they're improving fast, and a lot of these turnarounds are faster than we can see in esports. I know that some events would be like, I don't want to name any events, because I actually don't remember any events on the top of my hands, but they would go like, oh, next event will fix this. Oh, we know it was kind of shitty for this event, but next event will be better. But right now, Turner is not saying next event or next season. They're saying, yes, we'll fix it within the next hours. And they have a lot of people behind the scene making sure it works, and they're doing a great job at it. Also, I think what's helping them do so great is probably everybody that's working there is from the Counter-Strike scene, and not only that, but the casting and the talent are on point. I'm not gonna lie, everybody is doing a great job on the talent. Of course, they took like the cream of the cream. I think that Jason Mosin O'Toole is actually shining like ever in that cast. He is impressing the hell out of me. Not only is he doing is great in the lattice work, but I feel like he's so laid back even though all the pressure, and he's able to like be really sharp and interesting and relevant with his comments. I've never seen Jason on top of the game like that, and I'm thinking, is it because, you know, the desk is pretty small, there's only 2 people, we're used to seeing a 3 or 4 people desk, and second, he's usually kind of a bully, being bullied by the others because he's the North American guy and people are just like playing around with them, which I think is funny and it's normal. But right now Mo is being targeted as the person to make fun of, if I want to say. So it's releasing a lot of pressure, I feel, on Jason, and he's able to like be a part of this. Even the bully, the Mo bully thingy, but I don't know, he's just shining, and I've never been that impressed of Jason. He's doing a great job, and I hope that we get to see more of him in the future. And to be fair, there's an amazing surrounding talent around it too, like Pocket, Richard. Mo is doing okay. I think he's improving. I think he was really nervous and struggled a lot at the beginning. I haven't watched the very first day, but the comments that I've heard was that he was extremely nervous and that he's improved already a million. I think that he's trying to be that bad guy, that raw guy that we know Mo is actually. And sometimes it's kind of off, but it's still funny. I think it's still entertaining. Still worth a shot, but you can see he's new with like TV and live stuff. But it's getting better, it's getting better. And as for the casters, obviously some vendors are doing a great job, everybody's doing awesome, yay. So regarding talent, there's almost nothing to say. I think at some point, I think maybe they would benefit from having a 3rd person on the desk. I think it would bring more spice to it too, and it would make it maybe a little bit more interesting. But then again, the desk appearances are so short. So yeah, all right, so let me see where I'm at. The viewership. So I'm also wondering, I have no opinion on the viewership. Viewership right now is about 60 to 100k viewers on the weekly events. I don't know at all about the live show on Friday. Obviously this TV numbers, and like I was watching it at Buffalo Wild Wings, so I have no idea what the stream numbers were that day too. But to sum up, yeah, so 60 to 100k, is that good or bad? Considering the matches that are being played, right? We're talking like selfless nip. We're talking like different caliber teams being played. It's not like a Navi Fnatic level game, right? And it's not even high stakes. It's only for group stuff that are kind of meaningless. Like I was saying, it was just seedings for the next days. So is that a lot? I would think maybe it's a lot, but then again, are we expecting more from Turner? Like, so what is actually going on here in the viewership? I don't know. I just know that you should watch it because it's really good. Overall, I think there's still some tech issues going on, and Turner is still trying to figure some things out, because yesterday for at least 45 minutes we saw a player cam the whole time. Like, it wasn't the gameplay, so we don't know what happened there. I had to watch the Spanish stream to continue watching the game, so I don't know what happened there, but they're still figuring things out. But overall, I still think it's a pretty smooth event, smooth tournament, smooth everything, smooth prod. The pacing is awesome. The pacing is as good as the MLG Ohio Anaheim, which was for me the top standard event to reach for CSGO, if not the best one that has been to date. It was great to be in the crowd, it was great to be on site, and it was great to watch it on stream. And I'm saying that because I watched it from my hotel room for a full day once. So so MLG Ohio is really good. Okay, I'm trying to read my notes that was already crossed from the first time that I did this video, and I think the only thing that I'm missing right now is the studio. The studio itself is kind of freaking amazing. It's the best studio that I've ever seen regarding obviously esports stuff. It looks badass. The only thing that's kind of awkward is the crowd, I would think. Maybe because there's no like progression, like stands in the crowd, and they're kind of like jammed up. I don't know what to think about the crowd. Sometimes they make me awkward. Sometimes I think they're badass and I want to be in the crowd. Like, it's really weird to me. Like, everything about the crowd is kind of weird. But I guess it's kind of good. And the crowd is also very young, so that's also very puzzling. Like, very young. We're talking like young teenagers, not like young adults. So that's also really interesting, considering it's supposed to be a 17+ game, right? And I doubt half the crowd is even 17 years old. At least they don't look like it. So that's also kind of weird. But yeah, other than that, the studio is like moving. Like, the panelist desk moves, and we rarely see it moves, which is probably awesome, because it probably would be annoying if it kept moving back and forth. So it really moves, but it's still pretty badass. I think it's really cool. So next week I'm gonna go see week 3, and I'm gonna be able to tell you how it is to be in the crowd and see how it goes. But so far I've only watched it from home, and I also watched it from Buffalo Wild Wings. If you want to know, maybe they could work on that too, because their Buffalo Wild Wings partnerships is really awesome, but at the same time it seemed like nobody at the Buffalo Wild Wings knew what we're talking about when we're talking about ELeague. So it kind of took like a full hour back and forth arguing with like people in the restaurant to have it on screen with sound. At first they didn't want to put it at all, and then they put it on the small TVs, and we're like, what the hell, we came here to watch it on big TVs, and they put it on big TVs, but there was no sound. And then it took us a little bit to get them to put sound, and eventually it ended up being okay for map 2, but it still took us ton of time, and that was kind of unfortunate. But at the end they were like, oh, come back next week, we're gonna make sure you guys are happy, you know. So it worked out in the end, but it would have been better if they knew about it, and I assume a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings don't know about it yet. Maybe the communication didn't go really well within the Buffalo Wild Wings main house and like all the branches, but that should be fixed, because that was annoying. And one thing that I really loved when I watched it live on TV is to see the backstage camera. Backstage camera is really awesome. It went into the C9 little area, and they were playing around with the cam. I don't know, like a lot of events should do that more. Even their break cam on the stream on Twitch is in the crowd. That's MLG style of doing it, right? It's in the crowd, and there's a timer and there's music, and that's what we want. We want to see something. I hate splash screens with like the next match coming up and that's it, you know. And I'm not hating on the particular tournaments for it, because it's every single tournament that does that. So why not have a cam crowd that shows what's happening there? Why not? Like, who cares? And it makes me way more entertaining. I actually watch the cam crowd and watch like the talent in between their shots, what they're doing. That's pretty fun, and I think that's what we want. We want more real, we want more camera behind the scenes. Like, we have tons of events, so give us some more. Give us stuff that we can't have with the other events. And talking about stuff that we can have with the other events, Turner has experience in other sports and stats and stuff, so bring that statistic level to Counter-Strike. Meaning, if LG bans Cobble, show us the amount of time that they ban Cobble during this ELeague tournament, you know, like stuff like that. I want to see live stats, high quality stats. I think Turner can be the first organization that can do it for CS. Riot does it a little bit, so why not Turner do it? I want live stats. I'm a nerd, I'm a dork, I like maths, I like knowing that kind of stuff. It's fun to me. Bring it, Turner. That's my challenge for you. Bring live stats to Counter-Strike. And if you can even have a partnership with Valve and all that kind of stuff, do it. But if not, just manually do it, because we love to test. We love to know that stuff. Nerds like me love to know that stuff. And that's it. Good job to Turner for everything they were doing. Hopefully, maybe I can make a video in like 10 weeks about how it's become then. But right now, I would give this tournament, so far with only 2 weeks and only 8 teams being played out of the thousands that are gonna play, I want to say tons, out of the tons that are gonna play, I would give this tournament already an A-. Bring it, other tournament. It's a wrap.